viewers, now behind me, we're going to show you. Yeah, Tom, you wanted to make a quick point.
Yes, the point is this. The Typhoon interceptors of the Royal Air Force based at Akrotiri are flying air defense missions in the area.
Right.
It means that they are flying air defense missions in support of Israel. And of course, this is the reason for Iranians to consider Akrotiri Air Base, British Akrotiri Air Base.
So you're saying that the British Typhoons are flying operations on behalf of Israel to perhaps intercept or take out targets?
To take out UAVs.
To take out UAVs.
No, they're not moving further east than central Jordan, arguably. So they're not involved in direct strikes on Iran. But from Iranian point of view, and this is what I'm trying to explain all the time, there is also an Iranian point of view in this war. There is not just an Israeli or US point of view.
Yes.
From Iranian point of view, they are defending Israel. Therefore, they are participating in this conflict on the Israeli side. Therefore, Akrotiri is a legitimate target. This is how the Iranians think, you know.
That's the Iranians thinking, because anyone who's helping, of course, Israel and the United States is fair game as far as Iran is concerned, because they have to defend their borders and their sovereignty. So that's the other side that Tom has been sort of stressing. And that's why, viewers, it's not going to end this particular conflict in a day or so, specifically when you already have the Iranian regime saying that we are not going to negotiate. Now, here are pictures from Iran, viewers. I can't read the language, but I can tell you that these are some areas that have been struck in Iran. Hopefully, we label these pictures. I'm still awaiting confirmation as to where this location is. Okay, it's an oil pipeline in Iran. Where in Iran? Can the director tell me that? Would you know? Okay, I don't think we have that, but okay. So viewers, that's something that we have been saying. Iran International has showed a fire at the Alvaz oil pipeline following an explosion, and that's what we're being told. These are pictures from that. You can see the plumes of smoke. These are usually associated with burning oil. Are there other pictures that we have from Iran that give us a sense of where the strikes have taken place? Do we have a map of Iran that I can refer to with Tom? That's the map of Iran there.
This is map of Iran, yes. Principal oil fields in Iran are here in Khuzestan province, in southwest of the country.
This is what we're talking about. Okay.
Therefore, there are two pipelines, so-called Y pipeline, leading to the Kark Island in northern Persian Gulf. This is the major export terminal.
Okay.
It means all the huge, giant tankers are coming up to Kark and loading oil here. And then, because of the experiences from the Iran-Iraq war, when the US Navy had it easy, for example, to stop or to disturb the transport of Iranian oil, they have constructed another oil pipeline that is leading to Chabahar.
Right.
So in order to avoid being bottled up in the Persian Gulf, back then, Iraqis were attacking Karg, and so on and so on. So the story is a little bit longer. So there were always disruptions in Iranian oil exports. So the country was, of course,
so this is the Chabahar oil pipeline that we know, viewers. Chabahar is very strategically important also for India, because, as you know, here is Gwadar. Here somewhere is the Gwadar port.
Here.
There it is.
Oh, sorry. Excuse me.
Yeah. You can see that. Yes. So that's Gwadar, viewers, right there. And Chabahar is very close also. So we have this opening up. There you can see. I don't know if Gwadar will come out, because maybe it's one of those sites.
Chabahar and Gwadar.
And Gwadar is there. So that's Gwadar and that's Chabahar. This is the area where that pipeline comes out to. Yes. And that's been built as a redundancy so that Iran doesn't get stuck in that particular area. Yes.
If you permit me a little bit, a few additional explanations.
Yes.
Here and here. So we have Chabahar here.
Yes.
And we have Gwadar here. Gwadar is meanwhile the biggest airport in Pakistan, constructed by the Chinese. Chabahar was originally constructed during the Shah's time in the 1970s, but never completed. There is a big airbase nearby, and the Americans have bombed this airbase. This is meanwhile known. There are satellite photographs. And I said the pipeline is coming down, where the Iranians could continue exporting their oil, regardless what is happening over here. So it doesn't matter for the Iranians. They do not care whether the Strait of Hormuz is open or not. They can continue exporting oil unless somebody bombs this pipeline and cuts it off. And then comes the next point. Iranians are experts in repairing pipelines. During the Iran-Iraq war, they have learned to make fantastic things with pipelines. Therefore, even if they are bombed, if their pipelines get hit by whoever, they are going to be very quick in repairing them.
Okay, so viewers, these are the nitty-gritties of war. We're getting information, and Tom is breaking it down for us. We're also getting reports that there has been, now, Israeli media speculations on PM Netanyahu is Iranian propaganda. So very clearly this has been. And we've also been told that the French president has announced that France is going to increase its military presence in the Gulf. Now, where are the French bases? Would you know? Where are some of these French bases? We're going to try and get Tom to have a look at that. But these are the news updates that are coming in. The French foreign minister, he's saying ready to defend Gulf states and Jordan. Macron says France to boost military presence in the Gulf. More and more of the Western European countries are coming to the aid of the US and Israel to try and finish this particular offensive very quickly to get the Iranians to basically step down and come to the table, because the longer this war continues, there's going to be disruption in oil supplies, there's going to be disruption in travel, and that's going to have an economic cost. So basically, fundamentally, you have a situation going where right now the entire Western world and this Five Eyes Alliance, etc., they're all coming together. France is not part of that, but definitely adding and lending its muscle. Dan Illouz, MP from Israel, is joining us. Now, he's a member of parliament, and of course, Prime Minister Modi has, of course, addressed that parliament. So thank you very much, Mr. Illouz. I know that these are stressful times, but give us a sense of how things are going from Israel's perspective right now.
So first of all, I just want to share with your viewers that I was right now in the shelter because there has been massive bombing in the last few minutes in Israel, including in Jerusalem, where I'm speaking to you from. And so I was just with my family in the shelter. And so, yes, there is some difficulty. War is difficult. It's difficult for everyone. It's difficult on our children, on our spouses. It's difficult for us, of course. But having said that, I have to say that I think that the performance of the Israeli military and the American military has been tremendous. From the start of this offensive, we have reached many of our goals in a very, very short time. And I think that what we're seeing here is the cooperation between America and Israel being a real good news for the free world, because this regime that we are fighting is a purely evil regime. And the message that we're giving here to the world is that the free nations, the free countries are ready to fight for their freedom, and that when such a regime threatens us and calls for our destruction, that we will know to ensure that they are unable to do that and not unable to fulfill the promises that they've made. And so that's what we're seeing right now.
So I'm going to ask you, Dan Illouz, you said that there's heavy activity over Jerusalem. Can you extrapolate? Can you tell us what exactly is the situation on the ground, number one? Number two, I also want to ask you, is there bipartisan support for the action that has been undertaken by the Netanyahu regime against, or the government rather, against the Iranian regime?
So to answer your first question first, there has been a barrage of rockets to Israel as a whole and Jerusalem more specifically in the last 30 minutes or so. And so that's what we've seen right now. It's too early for me to tell you what the result of this barrage of rocket is, but it has been larger than what we've seen until today. And we expect this to continue in the next few days. But we in Israel are very confident of our air defense systems and our ability to stop these barrage of rockets. Now, when you ask about bipartisan support, I want to be incredibly clear. There is full bipartisan support for this military offense in Israel. Coalition and opposition are completely united when it comes to this offensive. We understand the threat that Iran poses not only to Israel, but to the free world as a whole, and also to the Iranian people. Also, we know that the Iranian regime has murdered tens of thousands of Iranians that wanted to